Hari Om. My name is Sarah Isham. Thank you for joining me for today's Integral Hatha Yoga session. Let's go ahead and begin by getting started in your Sukhasana or your easy pose, meaning the most comfortable seated position that you can find, with legs gently crossed, or maybe you find yourself in Lotus or half Lotus pose, whatever suits you best in this moment here and now. As you're getting settled into your Sukhasana, find yourself nice and elongated through the spine, head and ribs lifted, ears over shoulders and shoulders over hips, sitting up nice and tall. Imagine that there's a marionette string pulling you from the crown of your head straight up towards the ceiling. With your eyes softly closed, or maybe slightly open with a gentle gaze downward, begin to get in touch with the rhythm of your breath. And you want to find yourself with your weight evenly distributed through your sit bones. So you may choose to do a little bit of a spinal rock, leaning forward and back, making the rock smaller and smaller until you find yourself nice and balanced in your center, and then sit still and comfortable, setting your intention for today's practice. Why are you here? Now, as we get in touch with the rhythm of our breath, begin by exhaling normally in a relaxed way. Then inhale naturally in an equally relaxed way. At the end of your next relaxed exhalation, make a gentle effort to exhale as much air as you can comfortably. Notice that there is still a lot of air left in the lungs after normal exhalation. We're just emptying all that stale air out of the bottom of the lungs with the exhale. Keep it comfortable. Keep it relaxed. After the deep exhalation, relax and inhale naturally. This breath will probably be deeper because when more air goes out, a deeper inhalation normally follows. Take a few breaths this way, with a deep exhalation pushing all of the air out of the bottom of your lungs, and allow the inhale to come in organically. Slow and rhythmic breath. This technique will retrain the breath to be slower and deeper, so it will lower stress and anxiety. If you ever have trouble breathing or taking a deep breath, remember to exhale deeply. This will often overcome any difficulties. Continue doing deeper exhalation for a few breaths. Let the inhalations be relaxed and natural. Now you may choose to return to the natural rhythm of your breath and simply notice how you feel. From here, we're going to go into some gentle neck rolls to work through any tension through the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. So on your next exhale, gently allow your chin to tuck towards the midline of your chest. You may choose to sync breath with movement here, or simply breathe naturally. Do what feels good for you. If you're going to sync breath with movement, on your next inhale, gently roll your left ear up toward the left shoulder as you fill your lungs. And exhale as you roll the chin through the midline of the chest. And inhale as you bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Keeping the head heavy, keeping the shoulders back and down. Allow the neck to roll side to side, bringing ear to the shoulder on each side, rolling the chin through the midline of the chest with each exhale. And remember that I noted you may choose to breathe at your own rhythm, but sometimes it feels nice to sync movement with breath. Inhaling as you bring ear to shoulder, exhaling chin to chest. Just a few more moments here. Notice the sensation of the stretch through the sides of the neck, through the upper back, keeping those shoulders nice and back and down, directly over the hips. Deep rhythmic breaths. On your next exhale, allow the chin to come to the midline of your chest, and inhale as you bring your head back up to neutral, facing forward. In order to work through further tension through the shoulders and the upper back, we're going to go into some elbow circles. Now, depending on the mobility of your shoulders, you have options here regarding the placement of your hands. You may choose to rest your palms on your shoulders or your upper chest, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then we're going to begin to draw circular motions with the elbows. Bringing those elbows towards each other in front of the chest, then lift them out to the sides, down towards the ribs, and back together towards the front of the chest. Nice big circular motions within your range of motion. And then let's reverse those circles, working in the opposite direction. Listening to your shoulders and doing what feels comfortable for you, and noticing the sensation of this movement. Go ahead and reverse the direction of those circles once again. Remember to breathe deeply. And then rest the arms down at your sides. And let's take a couple gentle shoulder rolls here. And then relax. So now that we've taken some time to get warmed up a little, set our intention, got in touch with the rhythm of our breath, let's go ahead and bring it to a standing position, and go ahead and step to the front of your mat and find yourself in Tadasana, or mountain pose, with your feet hip distance apart, knees nice and soft, nice and elongated through the spine, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, head and ribs lifted, and bring the palms together at heart center. Take a moment to ground yourself here, nice and centered, grounded through all four corners of each foot. And once again, check in with the rhythm of your breath, working the full capacity of your lungs as far as is comfortable for you. From here, we're going to go into our Surya Namaskar, or our sun salutation. So you're going to begin by interlacing the thumbs, extending the arms, palms out, and reaching up above you nice and high. Maybe a little back bend if that feels safe and comfortable for you. Deep inhale, and on your exhale into a forward fold, hinging at the hip crease and leaning forward. Take a moment to settle into ragdoll here, nice and heavy through the head, loose through the shoulders, loose through the neck. And do whatever feels good for you here. You may choose to take your palms behind your calves and gently pull the chest towards the shin or the knees. Just hang here nice and loose, allowing the tension to release through the shoulders, the upper back, into the neck. Maybe a gentle sway side to side. And to reduce the intensity of the stretch through the back of the legs, you may choose to maintain soft knees. Honor your body, taking care not to force yourself into any position that causes discomfort or pain. Now from our forward fold, we're going to go into the fourth position of our sun salutation, which is a reverse lunge. So go ahead and plant your palms at the front of your mat and step back toward the back of your mat with the right foot, allowing the right knee and the top of the right foot to gently plant onto the mat. Now you may choose to tuck the back toe and lift that knee off of the mat. This requires more strength and is a little bit more intense, but it is an option. Just do what feels good for you. I'm going to demonstrate with the knee on the mat. Now with those palms planted on either side of that front foot, you're pressing into the mat, lifting the head and the ribs up towards the ceiling, nice and lifted through the upper body. Now checking in with your alignment, noting that the left knee is directly over the left ankle. Here we are going to step directly back into a downward dog. So you're going to tuck the right toes underneath and step back with the left leg so that both feet are toward the back of the mat about hip distance apart. Both palms are towards the front of the mat about shoulder distance apart. You're nice and long through the spine, the hips are up towards the ceiling, long through the legs, allowing the ears to fall between the shoulders and the crown of the head to fall toward the mat. You may choose to pedal the feet a few times, pressing the heels towards the mat, getting a nice deep stretch through the calves. Just notice the sensation of this downward dog. From our downward dog, we are going to go straight into our Dandasana, or our plank pose. So what you're going to do is you're going to find yourself in your neutral downward dog, both heels towards the mat, then shift forward into plank, bringing the shoulders directly over the wrists, trying to maintain a flat back, a straight line from the crown of your head all the way to your heels. Now it can be hard to see without a mirror, but if you feel that you are a little rounded through the upper back, to press the scapula through the shoulder blades, that'll bring you a little bit more in line. Nice and braced through the core. From this plank position, we're going to go directly into knees, chest, chin. Gently dropping the knees to the mat, keeping the pelvis, the hips lifted toward the ceiling. Allow the chest and the chin to drop toward the mat as well. So you have a little arch through the lower back. And breathe as we hold here for just a few moments. This is the seventh pose of our sun salutation, directly into the eighth pose, which is baby cobra. So you allow the pelvis to come down onto the mat. Keep those palms just beneath the shoulders on the mat. And without pressing into the mat, without using the strength of the arms, gently lift the chest and the ribs up off of the mat with a gentle gaze upward. taking care not to gaze too far upward as to cause compression of the vertebrae through the back of the neck, so using the strength of the trapezius muscles, the upper back here, and breathe. Going straight back into our downward dog. Go ahead and lift the hips up towards the ceiling, long through the spine. Ears fall between the shoulders, crown of the head towards the mat. Take a moment to pedal the feet, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, alternating pedaling, pressing each heel in towards the mat. Going back into our lunge on the opposite side, go ahead and shift your gaze between the front palms and step forward with the right foot, allowing the left knee and the top of the left foot to gently come onto the mat. Pressing the palms on either side of that front foot into the mat, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling, a gentle gaze upward. Once again, you may choose to take up the intensity a little by lifting that left knee off the mat, by tucking the left toes underneath and straightening the left leg. But I'll be demonstrating with the knee rested on the mat. And just check in with your body. How does it feel? Continuing the breakdown of our sun salutation, we're going to go back into our forward fold. So go ahead and tuck the back toe and step forward. So those feet are hip distance apart, directly underneath of the hips, and you find yourself once again in a forward fold. You may choose to take a little ragdoll here, nice and heavy through the upper body, loose shoulders, heavy head. Coming up into a chair pose, gently bend the knees, extend the arms, either side of the ears, nice and straight through the arms, hips dropped back as if you're sitting in a chair, then straighten the legs, reach up nice and tall into a little bit of a back bend. Fill your lungs, and on your exhale, bring the palms together down through heart center. And inhale as you release your arms down at your sides. So that was one full cycle of our sun salutation. Broken down, we were taking a little bit of time with each pose to get familiar with it, build a little confidence with those poses. Now from here, before we go into any further sun salutation, we're going to take a moment to once again find our center in mountain pose. And then go into a dynamic mountain, which is lifting the heels up off the floor, challenging your balance a little bit, and then lowering the heels back to the floor and lifting the toes. So from your centered and grounded mountain pose, all four corners of each foot grounded and connected to the floor, weight evenly distributed. On your next inhale, press your toes into the floor and lift the heels as high as is safe and comfortable for you. This is a balance challenge. And on your exhale, lower the heels and lift the toes. And again, lift the heels, lower the heels, and lift the toes. We're going to do this one more time. On your next inhale, lift the heels and hold. Deep breaths as you attempt to keep those heels lifted. Honor your body. It's okay if you lose balance. On your next exhale, lower the heels, lift the toes, back into our neutral, grounded mountain pose. Now from this mountain pose, we're going to go into a little vinyasa flow with our sun salutation, attempting to sync breath with movement as far as is safe and comfortable for you. So go ahead and bring your palms together at heart center. This is position 1. On your inhale, extend the arms, reaching up and over, a little bit of a back bend. That's 2. Into 3, your forward fold, hinging at the hip crease. Exhale. Plant your palms at the front of your mat. On your inhale, step back with the right foot, lowering the right knee onto the mat, head and chest lifted, fill your lungs. And on your exhale, step back with the left foot into your downward dog. Inhale forward into plank. And exhale, knees, chest, chin. This is position 7. On to position 8 into your baby cobra. On your inhale, lower the pelvis onto the mat. Lift the chest up off of the mat using the strength of the back. And exhale into position 9 into your downward dog. From your downward dog into position 10, step forward with the right foot, lowering the left knee onto the mat, lifting the head, lifting the chest, and exhale position 11 into your forward fold, stepping forward with the left foot. Squeeze all of the air out of your lungs, and on your inhale, begin coming up to a standing position, extending the arms on either sides of the ears into a little bit of a chair pose. Fill your lungs all the way as you straighten the legs into a little bit of a back bend, and exhale, palms together, down through heart center, and then release your arms down at your sides. That is one full sun salutation. Now, the only way to build confidence and stability is through repetition, so we're going to go through that again. So from your grounded mountain pose, make many adjustments to your body or your clothing to make you more comfortable. Maybe your pants shifted down a little bit. Sort yourself out, find mountain pose, and on your exhale, palms together through heart center. Inhale into your back bend, reaching up and over, fill your lungs. Exhale into your forward fold, hinging at the hip crease, lowering the palms onto the mat. From your forward fold, plant your palms at the front of your mat. Inhale as you step back with the right foot, lowering the right knee onto the mat, head and ribs lifted. Exhale, press back into your downward dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank. And on your exhale, you may choose to go into your knees, chest, chin, and inhale into baby cobra. Or, as I'm going to demonstrate here, maintain the plank position, keeping the knees off of the mat. As you exhale, lower into chaturanga and scoop upward into full cobra or upward dog. This is just an option for those of you that may be seeking something a little bit more intense, requires a little bit more strength and control. But regardless of where you've landed here, either in upward dog or baby cobra, on your exhale, shift back into your downward dog. Inhale as you step forward with the right foot, dropping that back knee onto the mat, pressing the palms into the mat, lifting the head, lifting the ribs. And exhale, step forward with the left foot into your forward fold. And on your inhale, extend the arms, a little bit of a chair pose with the hips dropped back. Continue to fill your lungs as you extend the arms up nice and tall, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, palms down through heart center, and release the arms down at your sides. Once again, finding your Tadasana or your mountain pose. Very nicely done. Let's go through that again. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, back bend, reaching up and over. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms at the front of the mat. Step back with the right foot. You may choose to keep that back knee off the floor for a little bit more intensity. On your next exhale, step back with the left foot into your downward dog. On your inhale, into plank. Onto either your knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, dandasana, scooping up into either baby cobra or upward dog. And on your exhale, press back into your downward dog. Inhale, step forward with the right foot. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale up into your chair and all the way up into your back bend. Exhale, palms down through heart center. And release your arms down at your sides, breathing naturally. As we know, with repetition comes stability and confidence, so let's do it one last time. On your exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back with the right foot. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. into your baby cobra or upward dog. Fill your lungs and exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step forward with the right foot. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose as you come all the way up into your back bend. Exhale, palms down through heart center, and release your arms down at your sides. Excellent job. Now, before we go through that one last time, let's take a few moments in our dynamic mountain pose. So nice and centered in a neutral mountain pose, grounded through all three balls of each foot. On your inhale, press the toes into the floor and lift the heels. Exhale, lower the heels and lift the toes. Continue lifting the heels on the inhale. And exhale as you lower and lift the toes at a pace that feels good for you. Checking in with your balance and stability here. Just a few moments. On your next inhale, lift the heels and hold deep breaths as we hold here. Nice and lifted. And on your next exhale, gently lower the heels and lift the toes, finding yourself back in a neutral Tadasana, mountain pose. Now here we go, one last time. Let's give it our best shot. Exhale, palms together through heart center. Inhale, reach up and over into your back bend. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hip crease. Inhale, step back with the right foot into your lunge. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank. And exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana, gently scooping up into your baby cobra or your upward dog. Exhale, press back into your downward dog. Inhale, step forward with the right foot, back into our lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, a little bit of a chair pose as you come all the way up to standing into your back bend, reaching up. And exhale, palms down through heart center. And release your arms down at your sides. Very nicely done. You should feel nice and invigorated from all of those sun salutations. Nice and warmed up, full body, head to toe. So at this point, we should be pretty well checked in with our balance. So we're going to go into our tree pose. So breathing naturally, bring your palms together at heart center from your mountain pose. Shift your weight onto the right leg and gently bring the left toe to the right ankle. You may choose to keep the toe on the floor for stability, finding an unmoving focal point to help you find and maintain your center. Now, as you get more comfortable here, you may choose to raise that foot up towards the ankle, or maybe to above the knee to the inner thigh. Honoring your body, being patient with yourself. If at any point you lose stability, just allow that left foot to come back down onto the floor, regain your center, and then place the sole of the foot at wherever feels most comfortable for you on the inside of that right leg, as long as you're not pressing directly against the knee. So you can either be at the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Maintaining your gaze at your unmoving focal point, find your center wherever you've landed here. Once you find your center, you may choose to branch out, opening the arms up and out to the sides like branches of the tree, keeping the chest nice and open. And don't forget to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, deep rhythmic breaths. Now you may choose to stay here in your tree pose. However, if you'd like to take it up a notch, I'm going to provide an option for those of you that would like to. So if you choose to take it up a notch with this option, it is a great hip opener as well as an increased balance challenge, as if tree pose isn't enough already on its own. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the left foot and bring it in front of the right thigh, up towards the hip crease. From here, once you've found your center in this position, you're going to bend the right knee, dropping the hips a little lower back and down. So it's mimicking a bit of a pigeon pose here, a great hip opener. Now resist the temptation to excessively lean forward and take a moment to find your center here. Now if you find your center and you'd still like to increase the intensity of this posture, challenging your balance a little bit further, keeping your palms at heart center, add in a little bit of a twist, gently twisting at the waist to the left. Now you may find it difficult to twist out to the side very far, but even just a subtle twist, you will notice a big impact on your balance. Breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth, whether you're in your regular tree pose or added in the twist or not. Now if you've added in the twist, go ahead and begin to bring yourself back to neutral, unwinding. Now if you've bent the knee and you have those hips strapped, go ahead and begin to straighten the right leg. And once you have that right leg straightened, go ahead and bring the sole of the left foot back to the inside of the right leg. So we should all find ourselves back into a regular tree pose here. And let's all allow that left foot to slide down the inside of the right leg and bring it back onto the floor, finding yourself back in mountain pose with arms down at your sides. Give those shoulders a couple rolls side to side. Take any little movements that might feel good for you here, and prepare yourself to go onto the opposite side. So once again, find your center with your palms together at heart center. Go ahead and shift your weight onto the left leg and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg, either at the ankle, the calf, or above the knee to the inner thigh. Wherever you land with that right foot, be patient with yourself. If you lose stability, just gently bring that foot back down onto the floor and regain your center. Find your unmoving focal point to help you maintain your balance. Once you find your center here, you may choose to branch out, opening the arms out at the side like branches of the tree, the chest nice and open. Take a moment to check in with the rhythm of your breath. That left foot is glued to the mat, all four corners of that left foot. Now once again, you may choose to stay here in your tree pose, but for those of you that are looking for that deep hip opener and the extra balance challenge, go ahead and bring the right foot to the front of the left thigh towards the hip crease. Once you find your center here, bend the left knee, drop the hips back and down, resisting the temptation to excessively lean forward. Once you feel balanced and centered here, you may choose to add in the gentle twist, twisting at the waist to the right this time. Keeping those shoulders back and down away from the ears. Deep breaths. That left foot is still glued to the mat. Nice soft bend in that left knee. Focus on the sensation of this stretch. When you're ready, gently twist back, unwind back to a neutral position. Inhale as you gently straighten that left leg. Find your center here. Once you have the left leg straightened, you will go ahead and bring the sole of the right foot back to the inside of the left leg, back into your neutral tree pose. So we should all be in our tree pose now. And when you're ready, gently allow the sole of the right foot to slide down the inside of the left leg, Bringing that foot back onto the mat, underneath of the hip, back into your Tadasana, mountain pose. Take any little movements that might feel good for you here. A little dynamic mountain, pressing the toes into the floor, lifting the heels. Exhaling as you lower the heels and lift the toes. Take a few moments for your dynamic mountain at a pace that feels good for you. Noticing how your body feels after that tree pose. Now let's go into just a couple side extensions to get a nice deep stretch through the sides of the body. On your inhale, take the right arm and reach up and over, allowing the fingertips of the left hand to slide down towards the knee. Or you may choose to support yourself with that palm on the waist or the hip. Also listen to your right shoulder here. You may be reaching all the way up and over, or the arm may cross a little more in front of the chest. No need to force yourself into any position that causes discomfort or pain. Breathe through the stretch, through the right armpit, down through the ribs, through the obliques, into the right hip. And on your exhale, allow that right arm to come back down at your sides, back to an upright position. And on your inhale to the other side, go ahead and inhale as you bring the left arm up and over, working through your range of motion, either allowing that right arm to slide down the outside of the right leg or bring that palm onto the waist or the hip for support. Listen to your body. And on your exhale, allow the left arm to come back down. From here, going directly into our standing cat-cow. Go ahead and open your arms out at your sides with a deep inhale, opening the chest. And on your exhale, tuck your chin, round your back, tuck your tailbone as if you're hugging a big ball, bringing those fingertips towards each other out in front. Allow your own breath to lead your movements here, inhaling as you open up the chest, getting a nice stretch from shoulder to shoulder across the chest, and exhale as you round out, gently tucking the chin toward the chest, tucking the tailbone, rounding out the back within your range of motion. On your next inhale, open your arms out at your sides and exhale as you lower your arms back down at your sides. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and step back to the front of our mat and we're going to bring it down onto the ground. So we're going to go ahead and do that progressively by beginning by bringing your palms together at heart center. Inhale as you reach up and over into our familiar back bend, and exhale into your forward fold, hinging at the hip crease, lowering the palms down onto the mat. Take a moment in ragdoll here, nice and heavy and loose through the upper body, soft knees. Just breathe. Maybe a little sway side to side. Take any movements that feel good for you here. Getting a nice release through the back, through the hamstrings, through the calves, the backs of the knees, through the shoulders and the upper back, to the neck. Just a few more breaths here. Mentally scan your body, taking note of any tension through your body. If you notice any tension, send deep flowing breaths to that area. Now go ahead and plant your palms at the front of your mat, gently bend the knees and step or jump to the back of your mat directly into downward dog. And take a moment here in your downward dog, heels pressing towards the mat. Your feet should be about hip distance apart, palms about shoulder distance apart, and your feet and hands should be about 4 feet apart depending on your height. Now from here, go ahead and step forward with the right foot, right knee over ankle, keeping that left foot toward the back of the mat. Now you may choose to drop the left knee onto the mat, lowering the top of the left foot onto the mat as well. Or, to increase the intensity of this, you may choose to keep that back toe tucked under, keeping that left knee off the mat, back leg nice and straight and strong. Now from here, we're going to add in a little bit of a twist. So you're going to keep that left palm planted on the mat next to the right foot. And go ahead and reach out to the side, up towards the ceiling with a gentle twist, reaching up with that right arm. Now, if it's comfortable for your neck, allow your gaze to follow that right arm up towards the ceiling. And breathe through the stretch here. Notice the sensation of this stretch along the spine with that gentle twist. If you have that back knee off the mat, you'll notice the strength required to keep that leg straight and strong. If at any point that leg gets tired, feel free to allow the knee to come back down onto the mat. On your next exhale, allow that right arm to come down so that you have both palms on the mat. Tuck that back toe under if it's not already, and we're going to come straight up into a warrior one with arms extended up on either sides of the ears, palms towards each other. The front knee, the right knee is over the ankle. And once again, the modification is keeping that back knee on the mat, the left knee on the mat, with the top of the left foot on the mat as well. You may choose to have a little bit of a back bend here, nice and open through the chest, the core slightly braced. And on your next exhale, allow those palms to come back down on either side of that right foot and step back with the right leg back into your downward dog. And breathe. Maybe pedal those feet a couple times, alternating, pressing each heel towards the mat. And now on to the other side. Go ahead and step forward with the left foot towards the front of the mat. Now you may choose to keep the right knee off the mat or allow the right knee to come down onto the mat, whatever feels best for you here. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate keeping that knee lifted, nice and straight and strong through the right leg. We're going to go into our twist. Go ahead and keep that right palm next to the left foot on the mat. And on your inhale, open up to the left, allowing that left arm to come up and over, adding in your twist. You may choose to allow your gaze to follow that left hand upward. And once again, if that back leg gets tired, that right leg, you may choose to drop the right knee back onto the mat at any point. Make adjustments for your body as needed. Just a few more moments here, nice and strong and supported through the right shoulder. Attempting to keep that left hand directly above the right hand that's planted on the mat. On your next exhale, allow that left palm to come back down onto the mat, both palms planted at the front of the mat, and then go ahead and press up into your warrior one, either with that right knee lifted off the mat or rested down on the mat, whatever feels good for you here. A little bit of a back bend, nice and open through the chest. Arms are extended up and over on either sides of the ears. That left knee is directly over the left ankle, nice and grounded here. And on your next exhale, go ahead and allow the palms to come back down onto the mat on either side of that left foot and step back with the left foot into your downward dog. Take a moment in your downward dog, and then on your inhale, we're going to come directly into plank, either into knees, chest, chin, or a chaturanga dandasana, scooping up into your baby cobra, or upward dog. Fill your lungs here, and we're going to hold here in our Cobra Pose for just a few breaths. So the main difference between Cobra Pose and Upward Dog is that here in Cobra Pose you see the lower body is resting on the mat, and in Upward Dog the toes are tucked under and the lower body is lifted up off of the mat, requiring a good bit more strength. So we're focusing on the sensation of this back bend here in Cobra. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and bring yourself into Child's Pose, pressing your hips back towards the heels. Arms remain extended out in front of you along the mat on either sides of the ears. Now there's a couple ways to do Child's Pose. I like to go ahead and bring the big toes together and the knees wide to the outside edges of the mat. It's just a great hip opener. It feels really nice through the hips and the lower back. Take a moment to rest here. Check in with the rhythm of your breath and just notice how you feel. Now on your next inhale, go ahead and begin to bring yourself into tabletop position with your palms under your shoulders and your knees under your hips, a nice flat back position. And we're going to go into cat-cow for some good spine mobility. On your exhale, tucking your chin, rounding your back, as if there's a string from your tailbone to your chin, pulling them towards each other. And on your inhale into cow, a little arch through the lower back, the tailbone is up, gently shifting your gaze upward towards the ceiling, but not too far as to not cause compression of the vertebrae through the back of the neck. And allow your own breath to lead your movements here for just a few breaths, exhaling into cat and inhaling into cow at a rhythm that feels good for you. Working through your full range of motion, getting some nice mobility through the spine, into the pelvis and hip area. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now on your next inhale, go ahead and bring yourself to a neutral tabletop position, and we're going to go ahead and come onto our sit bones. And let's find ourselves in Dandasana, or staff pose. So the legs are extended straight out in front of you, hip distance apart. The feet are flexed. Your head and ribs are lifted. Check in with your posture. Ears should be directly over the shoulders, shoulders directly over the hips, nice and elongated through the spine. Deep breaths here as you find your center. Now from our staff pose, our Dandasana, we're going to go into our Janu Sirsasana, or our head to knee pose. So what you're going to do is you're going to gently bend the right knee as you bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg, whether that be to the inner calf or to the inner thigh, wherever suits you, wherever feels comfortable. That right knee is nice and open to the side, allowing it to drop towards the floor. From there, go ahead and inhale as you extend the arms up above you, reaching nice and tall, elongated through the spine. And exhale as you hinge at the hip crease, leading with the chest, and lean forward. Allow the palms to land where they may, whether it be on the mat on either side of the left leg, maybe on the shin or calf area. Or if it feels good for you to increase the stretch, lead with the chest as you lean a little bit farther forward, maybe reaching all the way to the toes. Now you may choose to keep your gaze straight ahead, or if it feels safe and comfortable for you, allow your head to drop, bringing the forehead towards the knee. Now be sure to listen to your spine, listen to your shoulders, your entire back, your hamstrings, and everything. Stay in touch with your body so that you're not forcing yourself into any position that could cause discomfort or pain. Wherever you've landed in this Janu Sirsasana, or head to knee pose, settle into this position and breathe through the stretch, sending deep rhythmic breaths toward any tension in your body. We'll be here for just a few more moments, getting a nice deep stretch through the hamstring and along the back. On your next inhale, gently bring yourself back on up to an upright position and prepare to shift to the opposite side. Extend the right leg and bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg, whether it be to the inner calf or inner thigh. Inhale as you reach up above you nice and tall, elongated through the spine, and exhale as you lean forward, leading with the chest, hinging at the hip crease, and allowing the palms to land where they may on either side of that right leg, or maybe resting on the shin, calf area, or maybe all the way to the right foot. You may choose to keep the gaze straight ahead, or allow the chin to drop towards the chest, bringing the nose or the chin towards that right knee. And once again, settle into this posture. Notice the sensation of the stretch and breathe. Allowing the sensation of the stretch to increase and rejuvenate from moment to moment. This is your yogic practice. This is all about feeling good in the present moment. Just a few more moments here. Mentally scanning your body for any sensations. Keeping that left knee nice and open to the side, dropped towards the floor. On your next inhale, gently allow yourself to come back on up to an upright position and extend the left leg. Now with both legs extended, go ahead and turn so that you are aligned with your mat long ways. And open your legs nice and wide, extended, nice and straight through the legs, and open them up as wide as is comfortable for you, with both feet flexed, toes are actively coming towards you. Inhale as you reach up and over above you, and exhale into our wide leg forward fold, once again leading with the chest, hinging at the hip crease, and allowing the palms to land where they may. Keep checking in with those feet, keeping the feet flexed. You may allow your chin to tuck towards the chest with a heavy head. Just breathe through the stretch here a few moments. Noticing the sensation of the stretch through the hips. Go ahead and gently bring yourself back up to an upright position. And we're going to add in a wide leg side extension here. So go ahead and allow the left hand to come towards the left foot as the right arm reaches up and over, and you lean to the left over that left leg. Getting a nice stretch through the right side of your body. And on your inhale, allow yourself to come back up through the center, directly to the opposite side, allowing the right arm to come toward the right foot. Left arm comes up and over, getting a good stretch through the left side of the body. Listening to your shoulders, doing what feels safe and comfortable for you. Deep breaths. On your next exhale, allow yourself to come back up to the center, back to a neutral position. And we are going to go into a seated position of your choice, whether that be your Sukhasana, full Lotus pose, or half Lotus pose. Now, if you choose Lotus pose, that means that you're going to be bringing the tops of each foot to the top of each alternating thigh. I'm not quite there yet, so I'm going to be doing half Lotus, in which I bring the right foot to the top of my left thigh. So whichever seated position you have chosen here, you'll notice that I've added in a block out in front of me. That is because once you're settled into your seated position, we're going to add in a forward fold. And it's a really helpful tool to have something to support your forehead on as you lean forward. Now you can use your palms or your forearms if you don't have anything to support you for now. But just for future reference, take note that it is good to have a block handy for just little things like this, for deeper relaxation. So I'm putting the block so that it's all in its tallest position. Make sure you're nice and settled, your sit bones are evenly distributed on the mat beneath you. And then if it feels good for you, you may choose to lean forward. Now you'll notice I leaned forward. I have my forehead on the block and my forearms resting on the floor on either side of the block as well. This is getting a nice deep stretch through the hips. Now progressively, as my muscles and tendons, ligaments relax, I'm able to lower the block. So I've brought it down to its second shortest setting. Now wherever you've landed here, just breathe. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just do what feels right for you here in this moment. I'm simply showing you options of progression with the block. Now really settle into this pose wherever you've landed, whether it be your Sukhasana, your easy pose, full lotus, good for you, or half lotus. Breathe through the sensation of this stretch through the hips. When you are ready, gently press yourself back on up to an upright seated position, nice and elongated through the spine. And then we're going to switch the positioning of your legs. So opposite leg in front of the other. If you're doing half lotus or full lotus, just switch them out. Get settled into this seated position. If you have a block, go ahead and place it where you like. And if and when you are ready, add in the forward fold, leaning forward. Shifting the weight onto your palms, onto the forearms, allowing the head to lower. And just breathe. Mentally scanning your body, noticing the sensation of this stretch from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Just a few more moments here. Allow the sensation of the stretch to increase and rejuvenate from moment to moment. When you are ready, gently press into the floor as you bring yourself back on up to an upright seated position, nice and slow and easy, finding yourself in good posture with ears over shoulders and shoulders over hips. And just notice how you feel. If you're in lotus, go ahead and release those feet, bringing yourself into Sukhasana. And then we're going to go ahead and bring it onto our backs. So go ahead and lay so that you can be extended along the mat. With the knees bent, the feet are planted on the mat. Shoulder blades are pressed into the mat. The head is heavy. Just take a moment here. At this point, as we're winding down, we're going to go into our knees to chest pose. So go ahead and bring the knees up towards the chest. Take your palms behind each knee to the backs of the thigh. Gently pull the knees in towards the chest, keeping the upper body flat on the mat. And give yourself a little gentle rock side to side. You may continue just the gentle rock side to side, or to get a nice deep twist, a good stretch along the spine, you may allow the knees to gently drop towards the floor to the left. At that point, you may choose to shift your gaze to the right, gazing in the opposite direction of the twist. And to increase the sensation of the stretch even further, you may choose to extend the right leg, the top leg. And then if it feels good, you may choose to reach with that left arm and bring the left hand to the right toes. And just notice how this stretch feels. Now go ahead and bring those knees back into the center of your chest to your neutral knees to chest pose. Maybe a couple gentle rocks side to side. And then if you choose, you may allow the knees to drop now to the opposite side, to the floor, to the right. Now I'm going to move myself a little because I'm a little too close to the wall. So once those knees are dropped to the right, you may choose to shift your gaze to the left, wringing out your body, getting a nice thorough stretch. Once again, you may choose to extend the top leg, that would be the left leg this time. And then you may choose to also reach with the right arm towards the left foot and just breathe, wringing out any toxins left in the body here today. Deep rhythmic breaths, making sure you're doing what is safe for you within your range of motion. Now go ahead and gently bring your knees back toward the midline of your chest, back to your neutral knees to chest pose. Do any little extra stretches that might feel good for you today. Here I'm doing a little happy baby with the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling, bringing the knees down on either side of the torso. Getting all the remaining wiggles out of our body, releasing any remaining tension before we get into Shavasana. Here I'm going to take a little brief bridge pose by planting the soles of my feet on the mat, lifting my hips up towards the ceiling. And then when you're ready, go ahead and extend the legs down along the mat, arms down at your sides, and rest. Your body is heavy here in Shavasana. We're going to take a few minutes here at the end of class to reflect on and restore from today's session. Maybe rock your head gently side to side so that you can find yourself fully grounded, heavy, and relaxed, sinking into the mat. Take a moment to mentally scan your body from the crown of your head down across your face, relaxing your brow, your cheeks, your jaw, down through the neck into the shoulders, heavy and relaxed, down each arm all the way to the tips of each finger, down along the spine, across the chest, through the ribs, through the torso, into the pelvis and the hips. Relax. Down across each thigh, through the knees, the calves, and the ankles, to the tips of your toes, completely engulfed in tranquility and relaxation. Allow your breath to naturally flow through you, breathing at a pace that feels good and comfortable for you. Now, I invite you to imagine yourself in a place that is very beautiful to you, very peaceful and very safe. Maybe it's a secret garden or a mountain meadow that only you know about. Or maybe it's a beautiful room. Any place is okay as long as the place is pleasant to you, peaceful and safe. Now look around and notice what you see in this peaceful, special, quiet place. It might be trees or furnishings in a room. You can bring anything you like into this inner space. Enjoy the colors and the shapes and the things that you see here. At any time, you can let go of anything you don't enjoy. You may become aware of sounds in this peaceful place, like a breeze in the trees, or any sounds that are natural to that place. Or perhaps it's just very quiet. You may sense an aroma, a fragrance in the air, perhaps flowers or pine trees. Enjoy any aroma you may notice. Notice the pleasant temperature, perhaps the time of day. If you wish, you may notice any feelings you have and give them all permission to be there. You can witness any feeling in safety and allow it to come up and pass through you without the need to react or identify with that feeling. Become aware of the peace, strength, and calmness of the part of you that's just watching your inner images and feelings, the witness in you. Relax into the feeling of peace and enjoy it. Now, bring awareness back to the breath. Move the face muscles a little. Maybe wiggle the fingers and the toes. Take deeper breaths now, waking up and rejuvenating the body with the breath. Allow the breath to return to normal. You may stretch a little to feel fully alert, however feels good for you. And when you're ready, go ahead and extend the left arm up next to the ear, up above you, resting on the mat. And gently roll on to your left side. Take a brief moment here, and when you're ready, gently bring yourself up to an upright seated position onto your sit bones in your Sukhasana, your easy pose, whatever that means for you here today in this moment. We're going to take a couple nice deep Om breaths to finish up our practice for today. So go ahead and release your arms extended down at your sides. On your inhale, extend the arms up above you, reaching nice and tall, bringing the palms together as you fill your lungs. And on your exhale, I invite you to Om, bringing the palms down through heart center. Pause after the exhale to open the arms, and again, inhale. And one last time, open the arms out to the side and inhale. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste.